All right. All right. All right. Hello. So I have a super, well, not, I'm using OBS right now, guys. So we're going to be sharing some screens today, which is really exciting. I'm so excited because I feel like it's a professional. No. I just feel excited to deliver this value. We are about to really dive deep into some value. So let me know who's here. Who's here? See, we got two people here right now. Let me know. Let me know. Tell me who's here. Who's here? Where are you guys located? I'm super excited. I wish I could play music, but YouTube will take this video down, and I want the replay to be up. But I just want to dance. Like, it's so late too. Ooh. Was that too loud? Was that too loud? Hello, everyone. Oh my God. Frankie is here in spirit. Shout out to Frankie from Malaysia. Shout out to Frankie from Malaysia. Hello, hello. Who else is here? Who's there? Who else is here? Farouk is here from Malaysia. La. Shout out to Farouk. Hi, Farouk. If you guys don't know, Farouk is my boyfriend. He's gonna be here helping me out in the chat. Who else is here? Who else is here? We're gonna get started very soon. Just want to see who else is here. Where you guys located? How you guys feeling? I'm feeling great tonight. I'm feeling great. This is impromptu. Is that how you say it? Impromptu. I decided, I'm like, I want to host a masterclass because I feel like going live, like the last live that I did, it was great, but it was like kind of all over the place. And I want to be able to kind of have this streamlined so that you guys can get the most out of it, right? Because I'm here to help you transform your life. I'm not just here to give you those dopamine hits, right? The serotonin hits, the feel good, right? Of course, I want you to feel good, but I also want you to change. I want you to transform and create the life that you came here to create through your art, through your creativity, through your spiritual gifts. I want you to do that, and I want you to also stay authentic as well, because I know that's a big block, or that's where a lot of resistance comes from with creators and monetizing. Is they feel like, oh, if I monetize it, I'll fall out of love with it because then it'll be seen as work. And I want to talk about these codes that I'm going to be giving you guys today. Is about how to stop seeing, or how to get paid beautifully from your gifts, without losing the love and joy for them, right? So that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here. I see the other people in the chat are a bit private, a bit quiet, which is all good. So we're just going to keep it pushing. Talk to me if you guys have any questions. I am here for you. I just have a few notes, so I'm just opening my journal right now to get to those notes. My journal has so many sections, so. Ooh, give me a second. Okay, we got someone else in here. Hello. Let me know who's in here, where you're from, how you feeling tonight or today, depending on where you are in the world. Let me know. Hey, get silly. Hey, get silly. I don't know why that song just came to me. The dance floor silly. The ladies gon' feel mad. The fellas in the back and they twisting up a billy. Get silly. Hey, get silly. Hey. You know, it's crazy. When I was in 3rd or 4th grade, me and my friend Imani, shout out to Imani, we were dancing to that song. We did a talent show, and our CD stopped working, so we had the crowd sing "Get Silly" while we were doing our dance. So that was really cool because the CD wouldn't work, and we were like, "Are we not gonna perform?" And we're like, "We're just gonna go up there and like sing the song while we're performing," and everybody just sung the end with us. That was really fun. That was a cool memory. So shout out to you, Brain, for giving me that memory. That was good. Okay, so we're just gonna get started. Anybody that's here, drop questions, or when you feel ready, come right on in. So let's get it. Let's get it. I don't want to hold up too much of your time. So 3 visibility codes to get paid from your creativity without selling out. That's the mouthful right there. But these are going to be some of the visibility. These are going to be some codes that are included in the fully seen codes. I'm just giving them out right here because they're transformational, and I want you guys to experience the transformation that I've experienced, that my clients have experienced, to go from hiding the gifts that they have to share with the world, the gifts that I had to share with the world, out of the things that we're going to talk about, and be able to implement these things and start to move forward. So I won't be using the screen too much. It's more so because if you know from my YouTube videos, baby, here's the track, here's me real quick, because I go on tangents. So this is just to keep me straight and narrow, pretty much. But this is not a every time thing. This is a masterclass, so that is why we have the screen. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide, because again, I want you to get paid, and I don't want you to see you getting paid as being oh, you're selling out, or you're selling your soul, or it's going to water down your message. It's going to water down your expression. I was actually, before we move on, I was actually watching, my boyfriend loved this, what's his name? Joey Diaz. We were watching this podcast with this comedian, and he was saying in there that once he started like having these huge shows, and he was getting paid so much money, he actually fell out of love with it, and he didn't fall in love with it again until he started doing like free shows, or he wasn't expected to. And a lot of artists fall in that trap where as soon as they start making money, it feels like a job, it feels like a burden, it feels like a lot of responsibility, because before it's like, oh, you were doing this to, hey, welcome in to anyone that's new. I wish I could see the names of the people that came in, so I can say you guys' names, because I don't know, I just see the number. But welcome in, where are you at in the world? But it's responsibility, because when you are doing something that you love and you're just doing it just to do it, it's fun, it's free flowing, you don't have like obligation, right? But then as soon as there's money tied to it, there's a value tied to it, and it's how you feeding yourself, how you feeding your family, now you started to approach it a little differently, right? Because it's higher stakes. So that's why beginners, they have the best, thanks for the heart too, ever sent them, thank you. Beginners, you could take so many creative risks. You can do so much. So that's why it's like, oh, when people are beginning, they're like, I don't know what to post, or I don't know if I should post that. It's like, yo, this is the best time to take all of the risks that you can, because it's not tied to your livelihood. And my thing is, even when it is tied to your livelihood, if you get comfortable with taking risks now, if you get comfortable with having fun and enjoying the experience, then even when it's tied to your livelihood, it's not going to change, right? You're not going to feel this burden of responsibility. So that's a lot of what I want to convey to you artists, to you creatives who are holding back from, even though this is what my heart is calling me to do, I'll just work a 9 to 5 because, I don't want to monetize my gifts, because I don't want to start to hate it. Don't believe the hype. There are people who are doing what they love, getting paid beautifully. So let's get right into it. So my journey. If you are on the wait list for fully seen codes, you saw this video right here. I don't know if you guys can see you can. Okay, you saw this video right here. This was the very first video that I ever posted on TikTok, and it was mad cringy, yo. Mad cringy. I was singing Ordinary Girl by Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus. I'm just an ordinary girl. Sometimes I'm lazy. I get bored. I get scared. I feel ignored. And I don't know. And like, even thinking back to that video, I remember my idea for that was like, because in this video I changed my wig like 6 or 7 times. I just kept changing my wig, and I was like, I just wanted to portray that, regardless of how I look, I'm just an ordinary girl. I don't know. It was so silly, but at this time, I was unsure of myself in the creative world. I knew I wanted to create. I knew I wanted to express myself. I've always been someone like you, and I know you are, which is why you're here, who's been like just super expressive and just enjoying to bring something from my imagination into the physical through art, right? Not by being so direct with what it is, but I knew I wanted to make people feel things. I just knew. I remember when another story is when I was a kid, I had to have been like 10, 11, maybe I was younger than that. My godmom, we were at IHOP, and she was like, I'll give you a, they had sung happy birthday. Y'all know IHOP do the happy birthday song. And we were sitting in the booth, and she's like, I'll give you $1. She's like, she told me $1. So I'll give you $1 if you go over there and sing Stevie Wonder happy birthday. And I ain't hesitate. I went over there to their table, and now happy birthday to you. That's just always been the type of person that I am. Like another story, because I just have so many, and I know you can relate. I know that you have so many instances where you have just been a light, right? You've been that person to bring joy and just been very expressive, very like out there, right? So another example, I was I wanted some candy for the candy store. I wanted to go to the candy store, so I bought. I didn't have any money. I was living with my uncle at the time. My mom was working for the summer or whatever, but I had went on the corner of their street. This is not safe, and nobody was watching me. My uncle like 10 years older than me, so he was not watching me. He was at home with his girlfriend. But I took a cup and I went on that side of that street because I seen street performers do it. So I took that cup and I just started dancing on the corner of the street, hoping somebody would give me some money. They didn't, because it was a busy street. Nobody was even walking that street. But it's just like the fact that I did all of these things very early in my life was telling me that, like, oh, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to express. I want to be seen, right? I just always had a deep desire to be seen and to entertain and to make people feel good, right? People would laugh around me, and that was just always my desire, right? So, but when I first started creating online, I knew that's what I wanted, but I didn't really know the direction that I was going, and I was just like making funny videos online, but I also knew I had a desire to like change the world. I don't know if you, in my last live, if you have a chance, go ahead and check that out. But somebody asked me like, what led you to doing what you're doing now? And it's like, I just always had another desire was to change the world, because I'm also really sensitive. So I was always really sensitive to people's feelings and their emotions. And again, as a kid, grown adults would tell me their business. Who can relate? Tell me who can relate to you being a kid and grown people talking to you about their business, right? Because just always super empathetic, always like very, my heart was open. So I feel like the adults knew that they could like trust me, and I don't even think they weren't trying to get like my opinion. I was a kid, but it was just something about the way that I could deeply listen and also like energetically empathize that maybe that they weren't getting from like regular people in their real world. So I always knew that was also my gift, right? Why do people just tell me things? I'm a kid, and why do I even want to engage in these conversations? Like, and see the pain of the world and just being so sensitive. So all of these things tied together, social media became a beautiful place for me to start to express myself, to share my gifts, and it's a beautiful place for you as well. And now it's just time for you to get on board. So anyways, so my journey was, I was unsure when I first started, and I was unsure, but I was trying, right? I was unsure of myself, but I was definitely trying. And what happened was that I was showing up, right? I don't know why I just blinked like that, but I was showing up, and I was just being consistent, showing up, and eventually things started to like take off, right? Just from me being myself, things started to take off, and I don't know if y'all just heard that bump. I think my baby just fell. Oh my God, I think my baby just fell. Are you kidding me? Okay. Is she up? Hold on. Let me mute real quick. Farouk, is she okay? What happened?
She just fell.
How?
She set down the towel and then she slipped on the towel.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Do your thing.
Okay. So, All right, sorry about that, guys. My baby, I heard her fall. I don't know if you probably heard the bump. She fell. So, yeah, I was posting and everything was going pretty well. My video started to pop off, and that was a beautiful feeling because it was something that I wanted for so long. Like, if you guys could see how many videos I've posted on YouTube, they're all like privated now, but I've been trying. I used to tell my brother all the time, I want to be a YouTuber, right? He's like, what do you want to do? I want to be a YouTuber. I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I would tell him, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I'm gonna be a YouTuber. And it just, I just kept showing up, and where I was before, though, I was in a start and stop phase for years. I would say probably for like 6 years. I would post a video or two here, and then I would dip. Post a video or two, dip for months or a year. It wasn't until this last year that I got like consistent with YouTube, but the year prior to that, or a couple years prior to that, I got consistent with social media, period, because I had got sober. And when I got sober, I said, this is what I want to do, right? I was like, I don't want to go to school. I have told everybody I was going to go to school. I don't know if you know, but, I don't know if anybody here watching know about some jail talk, okay? The jail, actually, let me go camera only for a bit so I can talk to y'all. But I don't know if anybody here know about the jail talk. My dad was in jail. Shout out to my dad. But when people are in jail, bro, they will tell you the world, right? They're gonna sell you the world. They have all these dreams, and it was kind of the same thing when I was in rehab. It's like because you in there, you clear headed and you like goal setting, so you got all these big ambitions, right? So when I was in rehab, I remember I was telling my mom, I would call her, I'm like, I'm going back to school. Because I had at this point I had dropped out of school right when I had 1 credit left, literally. I had 3 credits left. I just needed 1 more class to get my associate's degree. I was in community college, and I had 3 credits left. And I decided to drop out of school because I said I wanted to do content. And I was like, I want to have my own business. I'm going to do content. The school thing is just not for me. I don't want to do this. My mom was so disappointed, and it didn't work out. So anyways, I ended up going to rehab. But when I was in rehab, I told my mom, I said, oh, I'm going to, I'm in there giving her that sweet, that talk. I'm going to school. I'm going to get out and da-da-da. But when I came out, I had other plans. I wanted to do content again. So I got serious about the content. I got consistent. So that had to have been in like 2020, 2021. And that's when I got on TikTok, and I got serious about TikTok, and I started to grow my audience. But what happened was that I started to feel the pressure of having so many eyes on me. My videos were going viral pretty consistently too. I was like having all these videos go viral, and it didn't, like, as much as I thought that's what I wanted. Let me tell you, my body was not with it. My body was rejecting it. I would feel like so much pressure having to show up because what if I go viral? And it wasn't even like people were leaving mean comments. And I thought the mean comments were funny, I wasn't even taking it so serious. It was really that, what if people find out about me? Or what if people like really see me? Like really see that I don't really know 100% what I'm talking about, and I'm a flawed human, and I make mistakes, and like, what if people see me that way, and will they still love me? If they see me as a flawed human being, will I still be loved? Who can relate to that? Feeling like you pull back online, you pull back in relationships, you pull back in real life, because you have this fear of it. When they really see me, when they really know me, they won't love me, they won't support me. Who here can relate? Anybody? Okay, so that's where I was, right? But now, to just keep this pushing. Okay, my daughter is not happy. Let's just keep this pushing. Share screen. Now, this is where I am. Authentic and paid. Authentic and loving to show up. I don't know if you guys have been seeing. I've been super consistent. First of all, I've been consistent on YouTube for the past year. Minimally, I post twice a month. But these last couple months, I've been posting like every few days. And it's not a phase. It's because I'm lit up. It's because I got my body on board. You feel it, Farouk? Yes, yes, you feel it. But I'm lit up. And why? Because I got my body on board. Because I taught my nervous system how to fall in love with success as much as it fell in love with hiding, as much as it fell in love with pulling back. I taught my body. It wasn't just the mental, right? I was doing the mental. I was doing the visualizations. I was doing the affirmations. And that's how I was able to create, to build an audience, to have videos go viral, right? It's not because I'm like so cool. I mean, I absolutely, it's because I'm so cool. I mean, duh. But I mean, there's a lot of cool creators online that are fighting for their slice of the pie. I see them all the time in comments. They're like, I'm posting all the time. When is it going to be my turn? A lot of that is, you know, just not having the belief system in place. But the belief system, having the belief system in place means nothing if you don't get your body on board, because then you won't be able to hold it. So I had the belief systems in place, but it was still up here. It was too cerebral. I don't know why I can't say that word, but it was still too up here. I had to get my body on board for it to finally click. And this last year was when I started to take regulating my nervous system, or now I like to say expanding my nervous system to hold what I'm calling in. And what does that look like? That's looked like $20,000 in my first year in business. And it's and I say while raising a 1-year-old, because for a long time I didn't want to share that. I'm like, I'm not going to say like, oh, I made $20,000, because I'm looking at all these other people who are making 6 figures in their business. Yes, hi Melly Mel, what it do, girl? Hey. Yes, how are you? How are you? Yeah, so my body, my energy isn't aligned, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The first module, we're getting to that too, because that's what made the difference for me, right? Because I was showing up, I was doing the things, I was creating, I was consistent. My body was rejecting it. Like, I would go into a panic attack, and that's why I started to drink. Like, I would drink before I would go live. I would drink before I would like talk to my community. I had like a Discord community at that time. Yes, good morning. I had a Discord community at that time, and I just could not like meet them without having to like soothe my nerves, because my nerves were so bad. Because even though I'm getting everything I'm calling, like I wanted these things, but my nervous system couldn't hold it. It was just like way above my capacity. My capacity was here. Like, this was my comfort zone. And when things started to work out for me, my nervous system did everything it could to bring me back to my comfort zone, because my comfort zone meant survival. And all our nervous system wants us to do is to survive. It's just like, how can we make sure that you wake up tomorrow and you could keep going, right? It has no desire for us to thrive. It's all about surviving. So that's why when we experience these leaps, when we have a really good week being consistent with like our new habits or our new goals, most of the times we revert back to what we know, simply because it's just it's our limit. We have it just stabilizes us. I don't know why I can't think of the word. So yeah, once I was able to do that, this first year I made $20K in my business, which again, I was saying that I didn't want to share that because I'm like, oh, it's only $20K, and I was all in my head about it. But honestly, I'm really proud of myself, because this was the first year I got serious about my business. And like, sure, it wasn't enough to like quit, you know, like, it's not enough to quit your job, right? If you're making like 40, 50K a year. I know that's like the average American household, what they make. So it's not enough to quit your job, but it's like a part-time income, you know, if that's what you're looking for, you could absolutely do that. And I wasn't working a lot of hours because I was raising a 1-year-old. Like, I had my daughter in May of 2024. I got serious about my business in July of 2024. And I was like, she's a newborn. She requires consistent care. I was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't have like a whole bunch of support. The first time Samaya was away from me for longer than a few hours, she was 9 months. So I always had my daughter, and she was exclusively breastfed, and I was still able to build a business where I generated $20,000 in cash. So I am absolutely proud of that. And I'm just like, I have to say that more, because you know, it's so easy to look at that and go, oh, that's not enough, or, you know, I could have did better, whatever. Like, I'm very proud of myself for that. And more than anything, I have peace. Like, real peace, not peace that's dependent on anything externally. And I have creative flow. I've tapped into this infinite flow of ideas, of inspiration, of wanting to show up and like do the damn thing. So that's what it became, with me tapping into my body, me remembering the truth of who I am, and also me monetizing my gifts, which is what we're going to talk about. So let's keep it moving. So first we're going to talk about the embodiment codes, which is what I talked about already, which is important because, like I said, if your body cannot hold what you are calling in, it's going to push it away. It doesn't matter how much you believe that you are worth it. It doesn't matter how much you believe that it's possible. If you are saying, I believe it's possible, but then your body goes into a panic or it shuts down when the actual manifestation shows up, or you get even a hint of the manifestation, guess what? Your nervous system is going to literally block it out of your view. It's going to keep in your awareness what is not going to send you into a panic attack, or what's not going to send you into a dysregulated state, because its job is to keep you in homeostasis. So you can't create magnetic and authentic content if your body feels like showing up is dangerous, if it sees it as a threat. And I love this image because so often, you know, I'll ask people, how do you feel? But how do you feel about it? And they have the language, even this, I would say, like not even being able to say like, oh, I feel anger, or I feel fear, or I feel disgust. They'll say, I just feel like it's not going to work out, you know, and not really having these, the actual language of the body. But even deeper, and what I talk about in my content, and what I also talk about inside of the codes, which is, oh my God, so transformational. But being able to like touch the center of those sensations, like really get in familiar with like, how does it show up in the body? Don't tell me mentally what's happening, tell me what's going on in the body. Because when you can see what's going on in the body, then all of a sudden you're meeting it, right? You're not trying to talk yourself out of it, which is what so many of my self-aware creatives do. Is they are so aware, and I get it, I am too. How many of you guys are, if I ask you, you know, why aren't you doing this, or what's going on this week, like how many of you can tell me exactly why you're not doing it, and you can tell me the story about why you're not doing it. You could tell me where the belief came from. You could tell me what, like you could tell me all of that, and that is amazing. But that also becomes the hindrance, because you are trying to think your way into abundance. You are trying to think your way out of your glass ceiling, essentially, right? You're trying to think your way out of your upper limit. You can't think your way out of it. You have to feel it. You just have to. Because if you don't feel it, what do? You stuff it down because you're thinking about it too much. The feeling can't move. And when the feeling can't move, then it just continues to manifest because it wants to be moved through you. I mean, it really is moving through you. It's just like, and honestly, I probably shouldn't even say like it's stuck energy. It's really not stuck energy. It's just unconsciously manifesting. So it's like when this energy can start to move through you, now you can start to consciously work with it. Because if I say it moves through you, I think what a lot of people will think is like, okay, well, if I sit with this, if I sit with this shame, if I sit with this feeling of like feeling abandoned, if I sit with this feeling of feeling rejected, then it's going to go out of my system. I'm not going to have to feel it again. Absolutely not. Like it's still going to show up, but when it shows up, you learn how to create the space for it, and then you learn how to use it to create, right? Like you use it to funnel and channel it into, you know, art, which is why I love working with creatives, artists, because they are so skilled at taking these complex emotions and turning them into something beautiful for the rest of us to interact with and go, oh my God, this painting describes exactly how I'm feeling. This song, this is exactly what I was feeling. Like, how did they do that? Right? So that's why I love working with creatives. My body and mind are fully synced. Yeah, that's why this is a skill. This is something that you learn. You learn how to not go to the narrative as soon as the emotion comes. You learn how to be able to sit with the narrative. And the way you do that is by describing the sensation, right? So I love these images because it's like, okay, well, what do we notice with anger? Without going into the narrative, just like using descriptive language. Oh, it's like heat. And it's like in the chest area, it's a lot of heat going on. And it probably feels like a ball of fire, right? It probably feels like a combustion. I don't know why I can't say that, but it's like, okay, sure, it feels like a combustion, but like, what does that feel like in the chest area? It feels like my chest is expanding, right? There's this expansion with a lot of heat. And thank you, Melly Mel. I appreciate that. So when you can start to like get in tune with that, or with sadness, right? Oh, it feels like heaviness. It feels really heavy, and it feels like fluid is running through my legs, and it's cold, and it probably feels like round, or it feels swiggly. Now you're getting out of the stories. And when you get out of the stories, you stop viewing reality through that filter. Now you're just going to the sensation, and the sensation is now more neutralized. It's just a sensation. So that is the importance of learning the language of the body outside of the narratives that you are telling, is that you could just go to the sensation without making it mean anything about you or your creativity, okay? And what this is going to do is this is going to magnetize the people who feel transformed by your work, because you are allowing yourself to not go into the narrative around what these sensations mean anymore. You're getting comfortable with just letting them move through you. So now those stories aren't as magnetizing to who you're calling in. And the reason why this is so important with being seen, with being visible, is because you can't magnetize what no one sees. Yes, that's the whole point, Melly Mel. Is like, I want you to like, I want people to do the work. I want you to do the work so that you can get the results, because it's inevitable. It's literally inevitable. Like, once you start to get your body on board, that's something that Shayna Raskin, shout out to Shayna Raskin, I love her. But when you get your body on board, anything is possible. When you get your body to agree with what you are, what you know is possible mentally, just get ready. And also what Joe Dispenza, he'll say is like, when you, it's like he says heart and mind coherence. I said heart and mind coherence. He says when heart and mind coherence get on board, sit back and get ready, because your life is about to change. And the way that we do that is by what I like to use is the beyond system. Okay, so and what this is going to do is it's going to help you to monetize. Help you to become visible. And it's important to be visible, because you can't monetize what no one sees. If nobody sees you, if nobody knows you have a product to offer, if nobody knows that you even exist, how can you start to offer your services? How can you start to offer your art, offer your products? How can you offer that if nobody even knows that you exist? But it's going to be hard to be seen. Yes, I love that. Well, what has been your experience with it? And actually, we're gonna go into that real soon. I'm just gonna touch on a few more of these points, and then we're gonna go into the beyond. But I would love to know your experience with it, and have you been doing the like most important part of it all, right? All of it is most important, but the last part, which is like dropping to the desire and then taking action to like really make it embodied. Look. I was trying to get it out as you said. I was typing. Nice. Okay, so and you can't stay visible if the body feels unsafe showing up, right? So a trap creatives fall into is they have skills, art, ideas, transformations to offer, but they still see visibility as a threat in the body. And visibility with danger equals like fear of judgment, fear of rejection, failure, or even success. In my case. Right, like even this fear of success, which really is really just a fear of responsibility, right? This fear of, oh, this is going to be a burden, this is more for me to add to my plate. You know, that's all the fear of success really is. It's just like, oh, what is this going to come with, right? If we have the wrong ideas about what success means. So when that happens, you'll unconsciously pull away. You'll unconsciously pull back when it comes to posting. I have to look at every day at my whiteboard. Nice. Yeah, and definitely Do it when you notice some discomfort. I mean, it works when you notice the discomfort, the beyond self ritual with the discomfort, or with not even just the discomfort, but with when you're feeling really good, because some people they get afraid of like, oh, the other shoe, what if the other shoe falls? Learning how to like even get comfortable when it's really good as well. So use it all the time. It's really repatterned the way that I show up 100%. Like being able to, I used to not want to go on YouTube live. Like I don't even know why either. When I love it, I love talking to you guys. I love communicating with my community and like talking to real people. Like you're a real person. You know what I mean, Melly Real? So it's like you're a real person. I'm actually talking to you, and that is so freaking cool. It's not just me talking to my phone. So I love this, but my body would tense up when thinking about going live, because again, I'm like stuttering over my words. Like in my videos, I can like edit this stuff out, right? But in this, it's just like, this is real raw. I can't like, cut. So that pressure has gone away. Like I've alchemized that pressure into like, I mean, the pressure is still there, but for me now, the pressure is it's a different drive behind the pressure. So before, it was the pressure of, oh, I don't want people to see me looking ridiculous or stumbling over my words, or like finding out that I'm a flawed human being and I don't know, 100% of what I'm talking about. I mean, who knows what they're talking about all the time, right? But I'm growing and I'm evolving, and I don't know. I want them to see me as whatever, right? This whole game we play. That pressure is gone. Now the pressure is on of, I want to help people change their lives. Like that's the pressure that leads me to come up. So it's the same thing. Like I still have pressure. It's just that the pressure has different motivations. So now like the pressure before was keeping me small, was keeping me hidden, was keeping me from like doing the things that I wanted to do, like go live and like do stuff like this. Now the pressure is, I want people to experience this level of freedom that I've tapped into, this level of knowing, this level of like going after their dreams and doing what's possible. Like so like me not showing up, like, oh my God, who knows who comes across this video? There's videos I come across, it'll be like 30 views, but let me tell you, that video has so much valuable information in there. It's like light bulbs everywhere. And imagine if that person said, oh, I'm not going to post because what if only 30 people see it? But me, I see that and it changes my life. So it's like now it's this pressure of, I have no idea who's going to see my content. I have no idea what, I could say this one thing and it could change something for them. So like that's pressure. Like I have to, right? God is using real time, honey. Yes. And you too, right? This is a co-creation. For sure. So, yeah. So that's what that will look like if you don't learn how to expand when the discomfort is coming up around the fear of judgment, rejection, failure, or even success. So what it'll look like more is like sharing your work, but not talking about how it's for sale. I see so many artists doing this and people in the spiritual community. I love them. I have so many friends in the spiritual community, and they don't talk about what they like. They talk about it, sure, but they don't like talk about their offers at all, ever. I mean, maybe sometimes, but it's like, oh, link in bio. But it's like rarely talking about their offers because they don't want people to see them as whatever the story they have coming up, not understanding that sales is service, which is something that I talk so much about inside of Fully Seen Codes. Sales is service. So it's like when you don't sell, you are not allowing somebody to buy into their transformation, right? Imagine if my coach didn't sell to me. Who knows where I would be right now, right? Imagine if Shayna didn't sell to me, and I love her. I love her content so much, and I just joined her monthly membership. But imagine if she didn't send that last minute email where it's like last minute, and then I'm closing the doors, and that made me go, you know what? It's time, right? And what it really is sales psychology, right? You put in that urgency, but some people, they need that urgency. They because it's like it's the difference between who you see now and who I was before, right? These programs, these services. So, but I really can't speak to who I am. This life is so powerful. Yes, Melly Mel. I love that. So, body feels safe being seen. So this is what it looks like when your body feels safe being seen. It's showing up consistently without burnout, talking about your offers openly. Right, there's no shame in saying, hey, I have something for sale, Like, would you like to play with me? I'm going to invite you into this offer. Would you like to do that? That shame goes out the window. Repeating yourself to build trust, which is what we're going to talk about in the next slide. And then attracting buyers who feel connected to you before you even pitch, right? So in Fully Seen Codes, I help you rewire that. So this is everything that I'm talking about now. I talk about it. I wouldn't even say in more depth, like right here, right now. This is what's inside of Fully Seen Codes. It's just, it has a workbook to be able to like answer questions to go along with this, to just like really make it tangible. Because it's one thing to listen to this and to like be like, oh yes, I'm with you, I hear you, and to feel good. It's another thing to like start taking the actions when you go back into what's familiar. So one moment, let me pull something up, because I'm just going to put the link here, because I'm doing exactly what I'm encouraging you all to do, is I'm going to sell, because I understand what this transformation is. Why is it not letting me type? Okay. Fully Seen Codes. Here we go. So here it is right here. And right now it is $97 for these codes. And it's going to be $97 until the 17th. And then it's going to go up to $150. And when you join now, you get access to this private Telegram community that I have. Because if I had somebody reach out to me and she's like, I don't really know what my creative gifts is. But then I'm like, everybody has a creative gift. And then she started talking to me and I said, girl, you have a creative gift. Like, this is exactly what it is. But she's like, oh, I hate what I create. I hate what I write. I hate what I do. So if you're feeling like that, if you feel like you don't really know what your creative gift is, or you're struggling, or if you already know what your creative gift is, you already know what you want to offer and bring to the world, the 30-day private community is really going to help you, because it's timeline driven, deadline driven. So not here to mess around. These are dates for you to create an offer or a product, which is offer, right? I mean, a product or a service, be able to learn how to market it, sell it, and have it live in 30 days, right? Success, rewards, speed. So sign up for the Fully Seen Codes, $97. It will go up to $150. It's so much value. Like, it really is an album. I remember when I said that, I was like, this is an album. I mean that. This is an album. It's everything from me working with my clients for the past year, and just the consistency of what they were talking about, and like what I've been helping them solve in their own lives. Like my client Melissa, who she wanted so bad the success, right? She wanted to have people inside of her community. And she had a video a month ago that when her videos were not performing as well, even though like whatever, like forget the metrics, but she had a video where she was being so authentically herself, an hour long, got 900 views. Like, that's her highest video right now. And what's the difference? What we've been doing, all we've been doing is, yes, Melly Mill, I cannot wait to see you. Yes, sign up before the 17th, because I would love to have you inside of the Telegram group, so that we can privately, go over exactly what's going on. And we'll be having a call, so we can, like, I could talk to you, like, me and you, like, not chat to me, right? So yeah, with Melissa, shout out to Melissa, because I know she watches back my content and she's always in my comments. I love Melissa. Melissa is my favorite person, because she's somebody who's so dedicated to her work. She shows up, she was doing the thing, but her body still felt like doing meant, like doing so much was like so tied to her worth, right? Like, I have to do. And if I don't do, then like I'm not worthy, or I'm not enough. We rewired that in her body in real time. And then she just started to relax. She started to take it easy. She started to show up, and I wouldn't say not when she felt like it, but when she was showing up, it felt more of ease. And from that, like, pitching became easier. So then she was able to get women into her community, where before she was showing up in her community, posting like it was already women there. She was living in the end, but nobody was signing up. But then we just started to like apply some strategic ways to get people in, doing like market research, reaching out to people. And that fear of, what if they say no? Did it go away? It was still present, but she was able to move past that, because we taught her body how to handle the rejection, how to handle the disappointment. So she was able to get women inside of her community, where she's just amazing. Shout out to Melissa. Melissa is blowing up. She's a feminine body coach. She's a feminine coach for Black women. So definitely check her out. Her name, I think, it's Black and Soft. Black and Soft. Shout out to Melissa. So What I want to do quickly, and oh my God, we can have 2 more slides. I'm just so, I love the embodiment stuff so much. But what I want to do is I want to actually go through beyond ritual right now, to show you guys how it actually works, so you can see in real time. And I know I talked about this a bit on my last slide, but I'm just going to go into it again. So let's say, like for my client Melissa, for an example, when we had her start reaching out to her audience, to the people that's already liking her post, that's already engaging, and to invite them into an offer, which was her community. Let's say the fear of, what if people just open my message and don't respond? What if people say no? Or even better yet, what if people say, you're bothering me? Like, why would you message me with this? Leave me alone, right? All these ideas of what could go wrong. When that shows up, what typically happens is people will say, even the thought of it, not even it happening in real time, but the thought of this happening will keep people from doing the thing, reaching out to people to tell them something that they have, right? Oh, check me out, I'm sweating, oh my God, it's so hot. Reaching out to people. So when that comes up, when this fear of, are you serious? Your name. I love that. Yes. You're blowing up too. Let's go. Both of the Melissas blowing up. But when that is showing up, right? What you want to do is you want to go beyond, right? It's called the beyond. So what you want to do is breathe. The B is, it's an acronym. So the B is for breathe. So you want to do this thing, and then maybe you have this pattern. And also what I would recommend is like writing down, like, what is it that you typically do to avoid doing the thing that you want to do. So like for me, what that will look like is like being on YouTube. Just like I'll watch binge YouTube, and that's usually a sign that I'm avoiding work. Sometimes it's like, sometimes I'm just like, I just want to chill, I just want to relax. But I can tell, like, very self-aware. I know you're very self-aware, so you know when you're like resting or when you're avoiding, right? When you're resting because you're avoiding, or when you're resting because you're just rejuvenating. So I could tell what's happening. So when you notice that you're in this action, or you just notice it right away, like, ooh, that feeling of, if I say right now, okay, when we get off this call, I want you to go post a video of yourself dancing. Or, you know what, when we get off this call, when you stop watching this video, I want you to go to your nearest grocery store, and I want you to put the phone up, and I just want you to start dancing. Just dance. What's the first response to that? Like your reflex response to me saying go in a grocery store and just start dancing. When that reflex response comes up, which is just this response of, "Ooh, I don't want to be seen." Like that's cringy as hell. Why would I do that? Like, well, I have no desire to do that, which is fine. But what this is about is just getting you outside of your comfort zone. So everything I encourage you to do is to get outside of your comfort zone, because if not, you're just going to keep doing the same thing you've been doing, which means you'll keep getting the same result you've been getting. So if I'm saying go and dance, right, in the grocery store, what's the knee-jerk reaction? Because that's what your nervous system is used to when it comes to you doing something that you're not used to, right? So when you notice that, nervous, nice, abundant one. So okay, you feel nervous. So when that feeling shows up, I want you to pause and say, ooh, here it is. And then beyond. Because when that feeling of nervousness is showing up, it could be, okay, I'm nervous, let me go do what's comfortable, which is you know your habits of what you usually do when you're uncomfortable. Or it could be, I'm nervous, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm going to go beyond the nervousness to still go do it anyway. All right, here we go. I know I keep saying it, but here we go. So the beyond is breathe. It's an acronym. Breathe, expand, yield, observe, nurture, drop into the desire. So nervous, abundant one, you said. All right, so breathe. We're going to do 3 deep breaths. All right, ready? This is just grounding you in a moment. And I want you to be grounded enough to where you can feel like the contact. So if you're sitting on something, can you really feel your butt sitting on your chair? Can you feel your feet on the ground? Can you feel your arms where they're placed? Like ground yourself, right? So if it take 3 breaths, if it take 5 breaths, now don't sit there grinding yourself the whole time, right? But just like get grounded enough to where you're like, okay, I'm here. I know I'm present. You're always present. Okay, anyways. You can't not ever be present because you are the awareness. You are the I am. So you ground yourself. And then you just examine, because you're simply the awareness. What's going on? If you say nervous, where do you experience that nervousness? Where is that nervousness showing up? Is it showing up in your face? Is it showing up in your head? Is it showing up in your chest? Does it show up in your hands? Does your hands get shaky, staticky? And not only notice where it's showing up, but also go into the actual sensational words. So don't just go like, oh, this is nerves, but go, oh, like I said, my hands feel staticky. Like it's a lot of heat and it feels very staticky. My head is pounding, like a ball is rolling around and it like curves back and forth. Chest. Now, describe to me the sensation that's going on in your chest. What is the sensation? Like I said, being able to really use the language outside of the narrative of what it means is what's going to help this stuff move. Like really help it move through you. So, okay, chest. Well, what are you feeling in your chest when you are thinking about going to a mall or a store and putting up a camera and just starting to dance? And I don't even want you to dance like you know what you're doing. I want you to hit one of these. Look as insane as possible. Flurries and tightness. Nice. Stay with that sensation of flurries and tightness. Just keep your awareness on it. Just examine it, right? So that's what the E is for, is to like really be able to examine what's happening in the body, to examine without going into what it means. Like, can you stay with the flurries and tightness without going, oh, it's tight because I don't want to do this because I'm this or that, like whatever, right? Just examine it all, and then you're gonna go into Y, which is yield. So now what I want you to do with that flurries and tightness is I want you to yield to it, which means you just full stop, right? You're not going into the story of it. You just full stop being with the flurries and tightness. And even more than that, we're going to amplify it, because what you're going to do is you're going to teach your body that you know how to hold this, that you are not afraid of the flurries and the tightness. So can you make the flurries and tightness even more dramatic? Can you tighten your chest even more, even if it means going like this, right? Like really tightening it up. What does flurries feel like in the body? Does it feel like this? Can you do this to your body? And I know this stuff looks insane, but it's really getting out of your head, and that's the point. Like, I want your mind to go, what the hell is she doing? What the hell does she want me to do? Why would I do that, right? Because your mind is going to reject this, because it wants you to stay in the familiar story. It wants you to think that it has the answers when it doesn't. It's just keeping you in a cycle. So I want you to go into the body and to actually exaggerate and give an expression to what you feel. Don't give an expression to the story. Give an expression to the sensation, because you're teaching yourself how to hold it, and you're also creating space around the sensation, right? So that's yield. Is you yield and you exaggerate. You really exaggerate the sensation, and then you open. So you see, not once have I said to change it. Not once have I said we're getting rid of this. We trying to get away from the nervousness. Absolutely not. We're teaching your body how to hold it, because the way to be who you came here to be, who you incarnated in this plane to be, you have to learn how to hold duality. So this is not about getting the nerves out of here. It's about learning how to expand with it, so you can hold the nerves. You can hold your nervousness while also holding your excitement. I saw something the other day, And just real quick, we go pause on a beyond because I want you guys to do this, right? Because usually, what does anxiety feel like? Anxiety feels like this, right? It's like, whew, oh my god, whew, whew, right? What is anxiety? Anxiety feels like this. And what does excitement feel like? Oh my god, yes, the same thing. It's literally the same thing, different story. Different story. So it's teaching yourself how to hold both of these and not go into the story, because you'll see that your emotions, the thing that you say you don't want and the thing that you want, they're very similar in the body. They're very similar. It's simply the stories that you are telling yourself about it. Show it you're here to control it, not let it control you. Exactly. Or yes, control is a great one. Or like redirect it. Like I'm here to lovingly redirect you, so that we can work together and you're not just like here ruling my life anymore. So we'll go there. So let's go back. So with the O, it's open and observe. So you just exaggerated the sensation. Now I want you to like open up. Can you drop your shoulders? Can you relax your forehead, relax your jaw, relax your abdomen muscles, relax your pelvic area? Can you relax, soften, right? Yes, abundant one, got it. Yes. Can you soften? Can you soften? And then you're gonna go to nurture. So with nurturing, because you just did all that, because you just taught your body how to hold discomfort, because you just taught your body how to expand around this scary thing that you've been avoiding for so long. Now it's time to nurture. Now it's time to soothe and remind yourself that like you're so proud of yourself, the same way you would nurture a baby, right? A baby's crying, or an animal, a pet, they hurt themselves. What do? You rub them, you'll like hold them, hug them, pull them in. Do the same thing with yourself. Like I'll hit one of these, I'll hug myself, sway, I'll rock, tap. If I have time, I'll go for a walk, do exercise. It's time dependent. This can be 5 minutes, or you can make this into an even longer practice. I have a longer practice inside of Fully Seen Codes where I really go into pretty much what we just talked about here, but even longer, right? Being able to like have the conversation, which we won't do in this right now. It's just a longer practice. So allow yourself to just nurture yourself. And then the last part, which is the most important part after you've nurtured yourself, is to drop into the desire. So when you are showing up, when you are being fully expressed, do you want to feel nervous? Well, what is it that you want to feel? Maybe confident, secure, expressive. Like what is it that you want to feel? Then you want to drop into that. It's to drop into the body. It's to like, because feeling is the secret, right? Neville always says feeling is the secret. But some people have a hard time with feeling is the secret or feeling, because they're so caught up in their mental stories that they can't connect to the emotional body. So you just went through all of that to create the space. So now it's going to be much easier to drop into the desire. And if it's not, that's okay, because you don't have to feel it 100%. You're teaching yourself. This is a practice. This is a skill. It took me, I would say, maybe like 6 months, which it don't have to take you that long. I wasn't practicing it consistently. I've been practicing it like really consistently for the past 2 months, and oh my God, what a difference it's made. But for a year, I've been getting serious about like my nervous system and teaching myself how to like get out of fight or flight, right? But I would say the past 2 months, I've been every day teaching myself to expand my capacity to receive. Free, I love that, free. So what does freedom feel like in the body? Like go into that as well, and don't go into the story of what freedom means, but just like go into what does freedom feel like. Love on the body. Yes, love on the body. Absolutely. Free. Yeah, tell me, what does freedom feel like? Does it feel like a That's not really a sensation, but like a wind is moving through you. Does it feel like expansion in your heart? Does your heart feel like it's getting bigger? Like you can feel the expansion. Loose, fluid, expressive. I love that. So yes, that's it. So as soon as you feel that, you've tapped into your ideal reality. Because your ideal reality is not about the thing, it's about the feeling. Because if you got what you wanted, abundant one, but you didn't, but like if I told you, oh, tomorrow everything that you desire you're gonna have it. But you're gonna feel miserable. You're gonna feel angry all the time. You're gonna have high stress. You probably won't want that thing. You want it because of what you believe it's gonna make you feel. And the beautiful part about us is we can choose how we feel. So we can drop into our desire, which is what people mean when they say you have your desire now. You have your desire now because you can feel as if you have your desire now. And you just taught your body how to feel as if you have your desire now because you went beyond the familiar pattern of the anxiety, the nervousness. So now you have it. Boom. You have your desire. You got it. You got it. So, but then what happens is people say, well, I don't see it. That's not the game we're playing. It's be, do, have. Be loose, fluid, and expressive consistently. And you'll open your eyes and it'll be there. And you'll be like, wow, I'm in a completely different reality. This is insane. Like, yo, I mean, you won't even say it's insane because it's so familiar because you got practice in feeling like you already had it because you went beyond. Right? So taking it back to you as a creative, this is going to allow you to be comfortable with visibility, with being fully seen, with monetizing your gifts. Because the discomfort of what that means, you know how to expand and you can hold it while also holding your excitement, while also holding success, while also holding the infinite possibilities. And the last part of the drop into the desire is, okay, you feel loose, fluid, and expressive. What's one thing, abundant? What's one thing that will lock that in? What's one thing you could do to signal in the 3D that you are loose, fluid, and expressive? What's one action you could take? And let it be a little bit stretchy too. Because that's how it's really going to become embodied. Because you can go through this practice all day long. But if you don't allow it to turn into action, then it's like this. So what's one thing you can do to really lock it in? I would love to know. And as you do that, I'm going to go to the next slide, which is just the identity codes. So the identity codes is, and when we go do this real brief, because it's been an hour, and I did not mean to do that. My accident. The identity codes is the world can only see you to the extent that you see yourself. Work on my online business. Okay, I love that. That's a bit vague though. I'm always like this for my clients. I'm like, that's a bit vague. What do you mean by that? Work on my online business. Like what's an action that you can take today to like really lock it in? So what's something that you want to do in your online business? The feeling of no constraints equals free. Yes. So Melly Mill, what's an action you can take to reflect this feeling of freedom? As well, I'm gonna ask you the same question. Like what's one action that would really like signal and be like, yes, this is freedom. And I mean, yes, go big or go home, but it doesn't have to be this huge thing, right? It's all about teaching yourself. This is a skill. So even if that thing is like drafting out, what you want to create, is just like taking a pen and paper when you get off this call and just like drafting it out. That's evidence. That's evidence that you are that now because you're taking the action. So the action is just as important as the process of teaching yourself how to expand around it. That's what's really going to lock it in. So you guys think about that. Let me know. And I would love to hold you accountable to it. I would love to hold you accountable to it. So we're going to go into the identity codes. So the identity codes is the world can only see you to the extent that you see yourself. And what that means is if you don't see yourself as being an abundant creator, as being a full, like as an expressive creator who is confident and authentic, then it's going to be really hard. That's not going to be reflected back to you, right? So it's again, be, do, have. You have to see yourself in that way. And the best way to see yourself in that way is by knowing the truth of who you are. Which is why I talk about that all the time. Knowing the truth of who you are. Making audio affirmations in my voice. I love it. I love it. When you do that, comment on my latest video and say done. I'm going to hold you accountable. And I'm going to be looking for that comment tomorrow. Or, you know what? No. Comment on this video. Because this video is going to be under the live section. So once you do that, comment on the video and just say done. Say done. 24 hours. Give yourself 24 hours to get it done. And I'll be looking forward to your comment, Abundant. But yeah, the way to start to get the world to see you for who you want to be, right, when it comes to being an abundant creative, is to recognize the truth of who you are. Because the truth of who you are has all the qualities, right? It's everything. And if we could talk about it's like it's true qualifications, is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I don't play around abundant one, because like I said, I want you guys to transform. I really want to, assist with that and be able to support you in that. So like being accountable is the way, for real. So yes. But knowing the truth of who you are, like if you, the qualities, that's what I'm looking for. The qualities of your truth, of your true self, which is the I am, which is awareness. You would have to say that it is freedom itself. It has no limits. It has no boundaries. You can't see it. You can't put it in a box. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, everything, all at once. And this is your true nature. So the more that you connect with this, then of course it's going to be reflected in your reality. For a long time, people have been identifying as who they think they are. It would be consistent with my writing. Okay, so what does that look like in the 24 hours? What's an action that you can take in 24 hours to stay consistent with your writing? Does it look like writing a post, or like where do you typically write? Do you have like a blog? What's something you could do? Can you make a draft for your next piece? Something in 24 hours. Could you even create like a schedule to like help to keep you consistent, or to just create something to aid with the consistency with your writing? And also a lot of writers, I have a lot of writers that follow me, and I love that, because the Fully Seen Coach it's a lot of writing. It's not video. I mean, it's some videos, but really it's audio transmissions, which is like the subconscious reprogramming that I have, but it's a lot of writing. Which is why it took me so long to do it, because I love writing as well. Which is why like if you're on my email list, you know that my emails are like, when I'm writing like newsletters, they're typically really long, because I love to write. Like, I love writers, so that makes sense that me and writers are like this. I love to write, but yeah. So this is the identity codes, is you remembering the truth of who you are, and when you remember the truth of who you are, it just gets reflected into everything, because you don't have to tell yourself you are abundant. That is your nature. You don't have to tell yourself that you are free. That is your nature, right? So what the nervous system practices of expanding your capacity, what it does is like outside of the like poetic language of it, which like I break it down to get it to connect, but like very concrete, what it does is it just teaches you to like go like beyond the separate identity, to go beyond who you've been taking yourself to be, outside of like being able to hold, like, which is like learning how to hold the duality, because you're already doing that anyway. It's just that you have a habit of being so identified with that mental narrative that's breaking everything into components that's labeling reality, that's telling you that you're over there and I'm over here. That is like the mental narrative that's so convincing, but it's an illusion. That's not what's actually happening. All that's happening is that awareness is aware of itself. And what itself looks like is me being right here on screen, you being in the comments, and it's appearing that it's separate components that are happening, but that's just not the case. So the way to tap into this is self inquiry. Is like just questioning the nature of your experience, the nature of reality. Who am I? Right? That's a question I ask every day, as many times as I can remember. Who am I? Who is it that's thinking these thoughts? Who is it that's aware of my experience? Because what that does is it turns my attention away from the perceptions, my thoughts, my feelings, like the external world, and it turns my attention towards that which is aware. Because even right now, there's something that's aware of your experience, right? You're aware. Are you aware? Hold on. Yes, you speaking in oneness definitely helped me to connect and feel secure in my connection with Source, Ra, and strengthen my conviction. I love it. I could freelance, write a poem, or write out my day and to-do list, either way, expressing myself. Yes. I love that. I have 100 journals, but thought about a blog. Oh, there we go. There's the stretchy goal then. How about you research where you want to host your blog, and then maybe even sign up. How about that? How about we don't even play it? We're not playing small. How about that becomes the task? You've thought about a blog. You have 100 journals. You are a writer. How about signing up for Substack? That's where all the writers are hanging out right now. Do you have a Substack? If not, how about that becomes the goal? And then you write done when you're done on this video. I'm here to push you. I'm here to push you outside of your comfort zone. Because you guys are made for greatness. You're already greatness. It's just about allowing the energy to flow through you and to be able to be expressed in that way. Right? So I won't stay here too long. I talk about this in my videos all the time, is that you are the I am. And you know that because you are aware. Are you aware right now? Sometimes people get stumped by that question when I ask them that. Like, are you aware right now? They're like, I don't know if that's a trick question. Like, what do you mean? It's like, if you're responding, then you were aware of the question. So you are aware, right? You are aware of my voice. You are aware of me. You are aware. Yes? Yes. What's the one thing that's always true about your experience? Regardless of what you are aware of, regardless of where you are in the world, what's the one thing that's true about your experience that you're aware? That's the one, like when people talk about all this conversation around religion and whose God is right and what's the right spirituality to practice and da. There's a truth that no one can deny, right? All of these, even with science, it's like there's relative truths and there's absolute truths. There's a whole bunch of relative truths, right? It's true that the sun rises and sets. That's a relative truth, but it's a truth, right? Because to us, the sun rises and sets. But if we weren't on Earth, the sun does not appear to be rising and setting. It's doing whatever it's doing, traveling through space or whatever. If you know what science says. So that's a relative truth. You are who you are abundant. That's not like you are abundant. That's actually a absolute truth. But I'm saying like abundant, whatever your real name is, I'm not sure. But like that's a relative truth. Like your name, your age, that's a relative truth. Your ethnicity, the stories that you tell, that's a relative truth. It's relative to the experience. It's relative now. Melly Mel, Melissa, Melly Mel, that's a relative truth. That's who you are. The absolute truth is that you're aware. And that's the one thing that we all have in common, is that we are all aware, right? And what's another thing that we all have in common? Regardless of what language you speak, when you introduce yourself in some variation, even if you don't say this particular words, these two words, you introduce yourself by pointing to something. And then you introduce yourself. And what is that something? The I am. If I say, oh, who are you? Oh, it's nice to meet you. What's your name? Oh, I guess that's not a good example. But like, what are they? What are we describing when I say my name is Taylor? who's Taylor? Like, what is that you're referring to? Oh, I am Taylor. I am this. I am this. If this microphone could talk, it will say, I am blah blah blah. Oh, that's your sign, Melly Mel. That's your sign. That's your sign. Yes, sign up for your Substack. And then put done when you're done. Hi, Melissa. I was just talking about you, y'all. This is Melissa. I was telling them you were blowing up. You were blowing up. This is Melissa right here, y'all. Check her out. Check her out. So, yeah, I am. Exactly. That is the truth of who we are. It's the I am. It's the I am. So, when we can get in touch with that, with the qualities of this essence that we are all pointing to, now all of a sudden these qualities of the I am, which is expansive, ever present, everywhere, like think about it as space. It touches everything. It's abundant, more than enough to go around. Like this is your true nature. You've just been identified with a story of, I'm not ready. Or what will happen if this happens, but X, Y, and Z. Good day, abundant one. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great day. I completed a short book just because I wanted to. Now I need to proofread, publish, and post. Yes! Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. And monetize. Allow yourself to earn from your brilliance. The universe wants to take care of you. It's just a give and take system. So the more you give your brilliance, the more the universe will reward you with being taken care of. And right now, what we use for that is money, which is not an evil thing, but I'm not going to go into money beliefs here. So that's the identity piece. And then the last piece is just the repetition codes. Now, this one is important when it comes to just creating content online and like niching down and being multidimensional. A lot of multidimensional creatives don't like the idea of niching, or they don't like the idea of being put in a box, right? This goes back into what I was talking about earlier when I was saying that, people, they don't want to monetize their gifts because then it feels like an obligation that this has to be it. Like this is the only thing that they can be, and they are like limited to this, when really, like I was saying here, and I wrote this down so I can remember, visibility doesn't come from one viral post. It comes from being unforgettable, and that happens through repetition. It happens through saying the same thing over and over. It's just being creative about learning how to say it in different ways. Like, can you say the same thing 1,000 different ways? That's where creativity comes from. I'm still here to just say, oh, okay. I thought you were saying goodbye, but okay. So yeah, that's how you can really become creative with your work. Just learn how to say the same thing and learning how to get familiarized with your zone of genius. Like that's what I've heard it called. Like you have a zone of genius, something that is unmistakable about who you are, what you do, and how you can package that up. Like you're really, really good at it. So when you can just start to repeat yourself over and over, it becomes much easier to be visible and to get monetized, especially to get monetized. It's having something that you are like known for. It doesn't have to be one thing. It could just be a theme, like an overarching theme, but you just want to keep revisiting that, right? Repetition doesn't mean robotic content. It's about learning to say the same thing in 100 different ways while staying creatively fulfilled. When you master this, you're never stuck for content ideas, and you're always guiding your audience toward your offer. That's exactly what we practice inside Fully Seen Codes. It's abundant, more than enough to go around. Exactly. So that's exactly what we practice. And again, you're not stuck for content. Oh, yeah, and that's another thing. Two people will say, I'm going to run out of, if I want to talk about this one thing, I can only talk about it for like this many ways. Everything is in connection when you can stay open, right? Going back to the truth of who you are. When you can stay open, and also, I'm reading Rick Rubin's book. I'm always reading way too many books at once. I really need to work on that. But not even work on that. Let me pull up something he said that struck me. Rick Rubin is called the Creative Act. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that or ever read it, but I highly recommend it. It is so good. This, like, yo, I was not expecting it to be this spiritual. I said, oh, Rick Rubin, he definitely like in an elevated state of consciousness. Like you can tell, and he uses it to, what does he say? Dang, I should have highlighted it. Hold on, harnessing this energy. When you're working on a project, you may notice appearing. Oh yeah, because like when you access this state, so this is what he said. He said, when you're working on a project, you may notice apparent coincidences appearing more often than randomness allows, almost as if there is another hand guiding yours in a certain direction, as if there is an inner knowing gently informing your movements. Faith allows you to trust the direction without needing to understand it. The music guy, yes, Rick Rubin, the music guy. I'm telling you though, this book, if you're a creative, if you're an artist, which all of you are, highly recommend the creative app. It's so spiritual. It's so spiritual, right? Okay, so he said, he even said that here. He said the word spirituality may not speak to those who dwell chiefly in the intellect or to those who equate the word with organized religion. He said the practice of spirituality is a way of looking at the world where you're not alone. There are deeper meanings behind the surface. The energy around you can be harnessed to elevate your work. You are part of something much larger than can be explained, a world of immense possibilities. Harnessing this energy can be marvelously, I don't know why I can't say this word, marvelously. Child, please. I don't know why I can't say this word. Anyways, useful in your creative pursuits. The principle operates on faith, believing in having as if it's true. No proof is needed. Right? So I talked about that, and he said faith allows you to trust the direction without needing to understand it. Pay particular attention to the movements that take your breath away, or the moments that take your breath away. A beautiful sunset, an unusual eye color, a moving piece of art, the elegant design of a complex machine. If a piece of work, a fragment of consciousness, or an element of nature is somehow allowing us to access something bigger, that is its spiritual component made manifest. It awards us a glimpse of the unseen. Maybe that wasn't the phrase I was looking for, but what he just saying that material for our work surrounds us everywhere, right? So there's no such thing as if you decide to repeat yourself often, you're going to be in a box, because everything is material. That's pretty much what he's pointing to, is that because we live in a spiritual world, and you know that because the world is in you, you're not even in the world. You are the awareness, you are the observer, and the world is within you, right? That's so crazy. I mean, not crazy, but like, damn. Like, we are taking ourselves to be this when we are projecting our consciousness like into this, like a fragment of our consciousness at that, but like it's inside of us because we are the awareness that doesn't move, and the experience is like coming and going in our field. So we are not in it. Oh my God. But anyways, so you will never run out of material. You will never run out of material because everything is your inspiration. It's just about tapping into your true nature so that everything can become the inspiration. Everything will ignite you and fire you up, like the smallest things. I promise you, I look at so many things and my brain just starts to make connections. I'm like, oh my God, this is like this. And I'll tell my boyfriend, I'm like, everything is that deep. I know Melissa can relate. Like, she's like, some people be like, it's not that deep, when it is. When you are that deep, when you are that open, everything becomes that deep. And what a beautiful way to live, right? Not living this very surface, no, but living in a way where you are open and receptive and just in love and flowing, and everything is that deep. So yeah, you won't be repeating yourself, and that's exactly what we practice inside of Fully Seen Code. So I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Fully Seen Codes is These are just 3 of the 8 codes inside of Fully Seen Codes, right? So there's more codes, and I don't even know why I put 8. I think it's like 10 codes that are inside of there. But this course is for the creative who's ready to be recognized, consistent, and paid without selling out, without trading your vulnerability. I mean, without trading your authenticity for the bag. The bag ain't that serious, and the bag chases you when you are authentic. So when you join before August 17th, that's the right date. Yep, you get the course for just $97 plus a private Telegram group and a 30-day content sprint to put everything into action immediately, right? And the accountability. Like, I'm about that accountability. Melissa, she knows. We meet every week and we are talking about the goals for the week. I also have private mentorship if that's something that you're interested in as well. But after the 17th, the price will go up and the bonus disappears. So if this resonates, join now. The link is here. If you are live, it's pinned, and then the link is also in the description. So that's that for that. I have a few more minutes for anybody that have any Q&As. Definitely would love to do some Q&As. And then your girl is going to bounce because it is 10 p.m. So it's time for your girl to go to sleep. I've been telling myself I'm going to go to bed at 9 p.m. It hasn't been happening. And why y'all telling me my forehead was so shiny? My boyfriend told me, oh, just move the computer back. Your forehead won't be so shiny. It's too late. I'm already on here looking like I got Vaseline on my forehead. And I'm hot. Malaysia is hot. Let me tell y'all something. Malaysia is hot. And then at night, the winds are insane. Because right now, we're so close to sea. I ain't never lived in no ocean or nothing. So I didn't know how bad the winds get. Like, it's crazy. It's never that deep until it is. Exactly. So, yeah. Living life like that, it really does open your heart. So, yeah, does anybody have any Q&As or anything they want to share before I hop on out of here? Thank you guys for attending this masterclass. This is my first time doing this. This was only possible because of Fully Seen, like because of the codes that I received, and really the codes of knowing the truth of who I am and learning how to expand around the discomfort. Because I was talking to Melissa about this. Like, I was telling her I do not like going live. It's not my thing. Like, I mean, no, that's not true. I love going live, but I wouldn't do it because I would just talk myself out of it. It was always some reason, right? And it's because of stuff like, oh, me not saying a word. What was the goddamn word that I could not say? I don't even know why I couldn't say this word. Marvelously. There we go. Marvelously. I couldn't say it, but like I'm stumbling over the word. I'm getting all tripped out about it. So, can you speak on intuition? Intuition has been one that I have actually been grappling with lately. When it comes to being the I am. When it comes to being the true self. Okay, this helps feeling like you're blocked. Are those two separate questions? Because the intuition doesn't have to go with the block, does it? But let me talk on intuition first. So with intuition is like instinct, right? We intuition, we have these instincts like the animals do, where we know what we know before we know, right? Without knowing how we know, we just know it. And it's just being from the earth, being components made out of the earth. We are on a rhythm with it. Now, so that's where instinct comes from, I will say. It's something that, I mean, I can't even really explain it because it is unexplainable. It's just, like inner wisdom. It's an inner wisdom. But the reason why I've been having kind of a difficult time with intuition is because of the whole like multiverse thing, right? Because I won't go there. I don't have enough time. But I've been grappling with intuition, and I've just been trying to figure out, how does intuition work, or like how much should I go into it when it comes to this world? Because if everything is just made up, then can I just always give my own definition to things? Can I just make it whatever I want? And even beyond that, it's like even that's a story. Like, it's all just stories. So same, like when I'm in embodiment, I feel it, but also don't get what to do next. Like embodiment blocks my intuition. I'm not really sure what you mean by your embodiment blocks your intuition. In what ways? Like give me an example. And it's intuition. So when and like yeah, just give me an example. I think that'll help me out better. Because I would say from my experience, I feel like when I am an embodiment like of the ideal, my end, desire, whatever that looks like, playing in this multiverse, calling in the realities. When I am the embodiment of what I'm calling in, I feel like my intuition is much higher. And for me, what that means is simply like inspired action to do or take, like, do certain things that helps. I often think small of myself, goals and accomplishments, to the point when even though I can manifest, I think nothing or small of it. How can I dismantle this SS behavior and mentally? Okay, I'm going to come to you, Melly Mill. Let me answer abundant real quick. Like, I embody being financially free, but just feel to rest, not get led on what will make me financially free. So, I would say, what is your definition of being? I mean, if financially free, you embody that. So that means like you tap into the feelings like we did earlier when you were saying that it felt. I think you literally said free. What you feel to rest? What does rest look like to you? I think that's where we start. It's like, what do you mean you feel like resting? And when you are resting, do you feel good when you rest? Obviously, right? If you're saying that you feel financially free and you are resting, but I'm just curious, like when you are in that rest state, do you feel good? And when does the anxiety then sprout around not having enough? And then what usually happens when you are in that, when that anxiety sprouts around not having enough? And then what is usually happening action wise? Cooking, cleaning, be with my kids, taking walks, etc. Okay, nice, nice. So, what's the block? I mean, not the block, but um, you feel like you're not intuitively led to do anything. So when you're in those states, you don't have like which is fine to not have ideas around doing anything. That's totally fine. When you notice that, but when you notice that you aren't financially free, which I don't know what that definition means for you. It's going to be different for everybody. But when you notice that, do you still keep that same level of like rest? Like when you're feeling good, when you're going on walks, when you're cooking and you're cleaning, do you still feel that same way, or do you feel, which I feel like this is kind of obvious question, but do you then go into the panic? I feel good at times, but sometimes I feel like I'm procrastinating because I'm not doing anything physically to make it happen. What? Uh-oh. So there is something there. Do you feel like you feel that way? You're procrastinating because of how it looks externally, of like what people are saying like this is what it looks like, are you open to the ways of how it could come in? Or is it because deep down, I feel like deep down is not really the correct way to say that, but is it because there's something that you want to do, you just don't feel inspired to do it? Would you say? Okay, now let me go to Melly Mel while you answer that, and let me know if I can ask that question differently. Oh yeah, and also I wanted to know, do you still maintain that level of, like when you said when you rest, like when you're with your kids and you're cooking and you're cleaning, you're like feeling financially free. What happens when you notice that you're not? Like, why do you tip, or like, yeah, just tell me what's that shift when you notice that, like, oh, a bill is coming up, or something of that nature is happening, because that's where the ideas will start to flow in when you. But anyways, I won't get ahead of myself, but yeah, I'm just curious. So I often think small of myself goals and accomplishments, to the point when, even though I can manifest, I think nothing or small of it. How can I dismantle this behavior and mentality? I would say remembering the truth of who you are, and going into the nervous system practices and taking action. That's the thing too. It's just like doing the thing, noticing that there's resistance around the thing, and then going into rituals like the beyond self ritual, or going into the self inquiry. Who am I? Who am I really? Right? And then all the other practices that are in manifestation, reprogramming the subconscious. I love visualization. That's my favorite method of reprogramming the subconscious, is teaching myself how to feel as if I already have it. And I do that. I either get myself into a meditative state, or I do it right when I wake up. Really right when I wake up, I'm just telling myself like positive affirmations, because that's when the subconscious is most receptive. And then as I'm falling asleep at night, I'll either go into a visualization, or if I can remember, I'll just say positive affirmations, because that's when the subconscious is the most receptive. So if you're doing that, like doing the affirmations when the subconscious is receptive, and then you're also visualizing. I love visualization. Visualizing mixed in with the self-inquiry and the nervous. It sounds like a lot too. I'm not expecting you to do this overnight, but I feel like if you just make this a practice and you start doing it consistently, you'll see a difference. You'll stop thinking small. Like you'll be like, wait a minute, anything is possible. Anything is possible. It's just, there's a lot of identification with who you take yourself to be right now. That's all it is. It's just like a strong identification with this self that you've been crafted, or had come to you through like people telling you, the world telling you who you are, and all this other stuff. So it's like identifying with the truth of who you are. What I realized during my time with Taylor is that sometimes what we're intuitively led to do isn't what we've made up in our minds. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I think that comes from us learning how to just be, rest more. Because then we see that the stories, they're just not that valid. They're just not that valid. So when we rest more, that the answers become more aligned, and they feel better. And like, you know it by how it feels. Some like when you are working on yourself, because sometimes anxiety sounds a lot like something's wrong, like danger. That's not what I'm looking for. But I mean, I guess, yeah, anxiety can sound a lot like paranoia. So you're like, oh, I know this is true. I know this is true. When really, those aren't two words that I'm looking for. But really, it's just like that. That's just anxiety. You have a lot of anxiety. So we can't fully trust that until we teach yourself how to relax, how to rest. Teach your body that it's okay to be X, Y, and Z. Then it becomes much easier to like trust your emotions. Where before your emotions is being filtered through all of your past happenings. So it's like, is this person really not trustworthy, or have you just been burned a lot in the past? And it's just like learning how to figure that out. And the more you teach yourself to rest and relax, it becomes so much easier to like trust yourself and to trust your inner guidance and know that this is not trauma. This is not because something happened to me. This is what it actually is. Deep down, I know I can do more. Yes, I want to build my brand, but don't feel inspired to. When I notice it's because of bills or feeling like I'm not taking advantage of time. Okay. So, deep down, you want to build your brand. You don't feel inspired to. I would say the not feeling inspired to is, again, just going with the... I would say just being caught up with like stories. Would you say that you were really identified with your mental stories? Like, do you feel like you spend a lot of time in your mind? Because the fastest way to get out your mind is to get in your body. Or the fastest way to get into action, I should say. The fastest way to get into action is to get out of your mind and to get into your body. That's going to put you into action. And the fastest way to get into fulfilled action, right? Not just action for the sake of action, not just action for the sake of like hustling and getting it done, but fulfilled action is to even get out of the body and just go beyond all of that into the truth of who you are and just remain as I am, as the observer, and see that it's being done. You aren't even doing it. It's just happening. Alan Watts, he had this saying. He said the world is just peopling. It's just peopling. like it's a verb. We think there's things happening independently when it's all just the flow of life. It's all just a happening. But that's the next step after, like, first we go from out of the mind into the body. Then we not leave the body, but we like see that we are simply aware of the body, right? We're just aware of the body. And then we go one step further to see that there's nobody aware of the body. There's just this. There's just this. And this is what we've been looking for. In every pursuit of happiness, what we've been looking for is exactly what we are in possession of. And that is the most freeing thing, especially to a mind that's always projecting happiness and success and fulfillment in the future, in the thing happening, in the desire coming true, in the manifestation coming. It's like what you actually want, you already have. You already have it. But I've found, and from my own experience, and from just like talking to others, working with others, that can be really hard to hear when the like needs are not met, when like basic needs are not met, when you just trying to figure out how to like make it to the next day. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear that this is perfect and like this is exactly what we're looking for. That could be really hard to hear. So that's why I really like I like to stress regulating the nervous system. Then I like to stress getting you paid. Then I like, because it's like when you have enough money, then it's like you do all these. Well, I like to like talk about these in conjunction with, right? Like planting these seeds in conjunction with all of these things that I'm doing for the individual. Because at the end of the day, you are already the person that you want to be. You are already in possession of what you desire. You are already your dream character, right? You don't have to glow up. You are the glow up. And like, I'm not just saying these things to hype. Like, this is not hype. This is facts. Like, your experience right now is exactly the way you want it. Even the stuff that you are like, I would never want that. Not you as the individual, but your God self, the true you, the I am. This is the play of your life and all of the components. You like designed it beautifully, like chef's kiss. Like, you are that much of a creative, But this is not easy to hear when you're like, but I want my desire. So that's why I'm like, okay, let's get you your desire first, so then you can see that like what you are actually in possession of, you already had. And you're gonna be like, damn, I did all that striving and that chasing just to realize that This was it. This moment as it is. This moment as it is exactly what I've been looking for. But then and then it makes the experience even more juicier because then now everything is an expression of this truth. It's no longer a, oh, I need to do this in order to, I need to do this to get happy, to be fulfilled, to get money, to none of that. It's like, it's just like, oh, this is just the expression of consciousness. So now you're dancing with it. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. Okay, I'm just gonna read this and then I'm gonna go. You guys, this was fun. This was so fun. Okay, so you said visualize, regulate the nervous system, identify the true self. Boom. Yep, you got it. You got it. So always go back to oneness when I feel like I'm procrastinating. Yes. And don't see it as a problem either. That's another thing. Don't see the procrastination as something. I actually also created this quiz. I've been having a lot of fun creating, like, because I really want, like I said, the pressure that I'm dealing with now is not the pressure of being seen as somebody who don't have the answers, or somebody who messes up over my words, or somebody that don't always like, who's not like, oh, my hair always retied and I got my makeup on. Like that pressure is out the window. My pressure now is like the pressure of not being able to help as many people as I can, like transform as many lives as I can, the lives that I am meant to like touch, and they are meant to touch me, because this is a co-creation. My clients heal me just as much as I help them, right? Working with them is so healing. It's always a co-creation. It's always a co-creation. But yeah. Exactly. I have anxiety and I need to get back to trust. Yes, and you're already there. Just don't identify with the thought of I need to get back to trust. Just drop it. Just drop it. You're already there. You're already there. Don't identify with the thought that you're procrastinating. Notice it. It's just a thought. It's just a thought. You're not procrastinating. You're exactly where you need to be. And the more you just rest into that, I'm telling you, you just start to notice yourself doing the things. Now all of a sudden you're doing the things. You're showing up. You have an abundance of energy to like, really what I feel like we're called here to do is to co-create. So like you have an abundance of energy to co-create, to like write, right? To write and share and do all the things that you came here to do. Maslow's hierarchies of needs. Exactly. Those basic needs are important. They are so important. So it's like, until those are met, ain't nobody trying to hear nothing about no self-actualization. But I still sprinkle that into my content because it's planting a seed. Like I had a mentor. He used to piss me off. He really did, because he would always tell me that, and I mean, I still don't 100% agree with a lot of things he said, but I do know that at the time when we started, chatting, I couldn't really hear what he was saying because I was still trying to get my basic needs met. It's like, I have to go to a job that I don't like and I have to do X, Y, and Z, and you trying to tell me that I shouldn't manifest and I should leave the separate self alone. Like, he's super Advaita Vedanta, like non-dual mentor, and like super no nonsense. So but I wasn't in a space for that. I wasn't trying to hear that. I'm like, I want to manifest, and I still found my own lane with that, right? I still can understand that I am, the everything in which it all appears, while also honoring my humanity. I'm not, and I also know now that, and I was so mad at the non-duality community because I felt like it was like this suppressing thing and trying to deny my humanity, but that was still me coming, like not having an embodied understanding, because now I know that that's not what it is either. But I couldn't hear him because I didn't have my basic needs met, because I was still so identified with the separate self. And as much as I heard the non-dual teachings, and I'm like, okay, yes, this is true, right? I am the God of my reality. I am the I am, right? I don't got to worry about it. It's all perfect. Like, I could say those things and I could hear it, but in my reality, I still felt like I was fighting. I still felt like, no, it's up to me. Like, I have to get it done. I have to do, and I have to manifest, and I have to, do all of this stuff in order to, remember, in order to know the truth. I got to meditate every day, and I got to be serious, and I got to be diligent. That becomes a block, because then it's just like you're doing all these things to already have what you already have it, but like trying to hear that I already have it when I was feeling the way that I was feeling and my relationship to reality, I wasn't trying to hear that. But he was planting seeds. And those seeds have blossomed, and they continue to blossom into what I do now, and how I talk about, non-duality in relationship to being in the world, which is really like the tantric approach, like in Buddhism. Is you have the renunciate approach where people say, I am neti neti, not this, not that. I am none of this. I'm going to go into the cage. And really what they doing is they just creating worlds. Let me tell you, they going to meditate, and they are just going and like putting their consciousness into other worlds, right? But it's like, oh, they're going into, the nothingness and whatever, but there's still something being portrayed on the screen of consciousness. They're just not attached to it. What they go into is just like pure bliss, like sat chit ananda. It's this pure bliss state, which we are always in access to. But what you pay for being a separate individual, for taking yourself to be a separate individual, is you pay for pain and pleasure. Like, you have to experience pain in order to experience the pleasure. So that is what you pay when you are choosing, which it really is a choice, to be in the field of a separate self, to be a separate self. So always say, fall in love with the discomfort, fall in love with the suffering, because you chose to come here. You love the duality. As much as you try to deny it, as much as you try to act like you don't like a lot of the stuff that's going on, the God self does, or you would not be here. Like, you 100% wanted to experience it all. So if I already have it, doesn't that mean I don't have to do anything, child? Exactly. No, but that's the thing. What happens is that from the separate like, okay, so yeah, you don't have to do anything because it's all done for you. But what happens is the separate self will say, but this doesn't look like what I feel like it should look like. Because if that's the case, then that should mean, right, that I'm abundant, right? Because we feel like, oh, well, if I know this truth, then I should be this. But the highest wisdom is that that's just not the case. The highest wisdom is that your life exactly as it is, from your true self, from your like true identity, it is 100% satisfied with it. It is not in resistance to it. It's the mind that's in resistance to it. It's the mind that says this can't be this way. And the price that you pay for that is you will experience pain. So if you want to play in the reality creation game, if you want to play in the game of being the abundant creator, of being the one who can, shape shift and like jump to multi-realities, you're going to experience pain. That's just the price that you pay. However, if you want to just go and be the I am and rest as you are, then just let it happen. There's nothing wrong with the experience. If there's financial lack, then that's okay. God is okay with it. And that can be a hard that can be a hard pill to swallow. But God is simply awareness, and awareness has already said yes to it, or it wouldn't be there. Awareness has already said yes to it. Everything is perfect to God. Because it's all just a play of consciousness. It's the separate self that has a problem with it. It's the separate self that says, which is just the identity, that says this shouldn't be this way. This should be this way. I want this. I don't want this. And that is why we suffer. We don't suffer from the experience itself. The experience itself is like hella neutral. Like, do we experience, the sensation of pain? Yes. But suffering is from, like denying the pain, or like going into the story of the pain. But pain is like inevitable, and pain is like no problem. It's the psychological pain that is created from the separate self. So more conviction and trust in my higher self. Yeah, I would just say more conviction. Learn how to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that's the price that you are paying for being a visionary, for being someone who is like surfing realities, right? They call it reality transurfing. But the price that you pay when you reality transurf is you are going to experience discomfort. So you just got to learn how to like get comfortable with the discomfort. If not, then just go into the I am. Just be the I am. But what I found works beautifully for me as somebody who I love the game. I don't mind suffering. I mean, I shouldn't say suffering. I don't mind pain. I don't mind pain. Like, and because I don't mind pain, I don't mind the forgetting myself as God. I don't mind that in order to, like, the forgetting to me is fun. Like, oh, I forget, I've forgotten it. And now I have to, deal with human pain and like desire and wanting and longing. But I hold that while also holding the truth of who I am. And that just makes it much easier to navigate this dream realm. It makes it easier to stay lucid and not suffer. We both wish that we all have work to do, but it's pinpointing what that work is. Don't overexhaust yourself on the track of being busy. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And the thing is that when you can hold both of these, when you can hold the knowing the truth of who you are with doing the being able to like expand around the discomfort, then I'm telling you, I've been in the hustle because I want to get grow for a long time. And while I did get results, I will say that like I was able to get results. I was not happy. I still felt like this is it. Like I would get the thing and I'm like, this is it. Like I did all this work and I still feel like I'm longing for something. I still feel like I don't know. I still have this desire. Like does this ever go away? And as the price of being a separate individual is that it doesn't. You just learn how to deal with it. And the more you learn how to like deal with it, and the more that you go into self-inquiry, which is just remembering the truth of who you are. And I'm telling you, the skill is being able to, it's so paradoxical. It's so paradoxical. Like, how can it be that you have absolutely no control because it's just a dream that you are watching, while you are also the dream character who is able to manifest whatever you desire? Those are like two completely contradictory statements. Yet, it is true. It's the yin and the yang. And it will not make sense to our mind. Our mind can't hold that. Our mind thinks in a linear fashion. Our mind is like very much, it thinks in like dichotomy, right? Binary terms. It's this or that, right? It's up or down. It's left or right. Like it's very this or that. And I would say that's especially in the Western world. More Eastern societies, they have a lot more room for gray area, even in their language. Like if you read a lot of like the Eastern philosophy, it's very poetic, which is why when I first got into my spiritual journey, I couldn't get with it because it was too poetic. I didn't understand what the fuck they was talking about. I'm like, what are they pointing to? I don't know what y'all talking about, bruh. But as I've matured in my spiritual understanding, I'm like, oh, they're just saying it in a way to like go beyond the like mind's very analytical, logical way of trying to like grasp this, because the mind just can't. The mind cannot grasp the truth of who you are. It just can't. What's the saying? It's another saying that really helps me understand this, but it's like the flashlight, like the flashlight analogy, where it's like you are the flashlight. Or the knife. The knife is a better analogy. Let's just imagine this is a knife. Like the knife can't cut itself, right? The knife can only cut other things. So you can't see yourself, or you aren't aware of yourself. You are only aware of yourself in the reflection, which is your world, which is the world. So the only way you can see yourself is by reflecting yourself. But you can't see yourself because you are it. You can't see, you are already it. What you're looking for, you are it. So you can't, I can't use this pen to write on itself. You can't use the mind to know itself. You can only use it, like the only way for this pen to see itself is for it to like get in front of a mirror, and then its reflection is back. And then that's what your world is. Or the only way for the pen to like know itself is like if I write on something. Maybe that analogy wasn't the right. Let me sit on that analogy and I'll come back at you. I will sit on that analogy to be able to really make sense of the fact that like you cannot use the mind to know the mind. It is an instrument that you are using to explore yourself. but you can't turn it back to look at itself. It's just not possible. The same way you can't use a knife to cut. You can't use the knife to cut itself because it's the instrument. Okay? So, yeah. That's all I got. Thank you guys. This has been amazing. This has been fun. Sorry for the audio for anybody that's in the back who listened back to this because the mic was all over the place. But yeah, this was fun. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a great day. The only way for the pen to know itself is to look in the mirror. Reality reflects you, using it to explore yourself. Yes, family classroom. Okay. I'm glad you got it. You know how many times I've said that to myself? I'm like, trying to like mentally understand, because I'm like the mind just runs into circles trying to understand this, and it's like you can't understand it because you are it. Like you are what you're trying to understand. You trying to understand the godhood when that's already you. The only thing you can do is see yourself in the reflection as your world. Okay. Last question. How to overcome undesired habits. I would say first getting clear on what you want your desired habits to be. So what are the desired habits that you want for yourself? Write them down and then create a schedule. Or honestly, I'm real schedule oriented. I don't follow it to a T, but because I'm real prone to go back, I'm very prone to go back to what's comfortable for me and what I'm used to. I keep a schedule to like keep the new identity in its place. Like this is our routine, okay, and you go follow it. So I would say write down what the desired habits that you want are. Write down a schedule to like make sure that you have those habits in place. Honestly, I would start off with 3 desires that you want. What me and my boyfriend have been doing lately is we'll have like a goal. So actually this is what I would say for you going into the next week. Just try it out. Is have a goal that you want for the week. Think of one habit that you want, or a goal, not even a habit, a goal, right? And then say, this is what I want to have done by the end of the week. And then every day I want you to write down 3 needle moving tasks, or you can even say 3 habits that are going to get you there. And then every night just check it off. That's exactly what I do with myself. Is I have a habit tracker that helps me. Like real short and simple, habit trackers help me. And when I'm not doing those habits, I just go into my practices, which is either the nervous system regulation, like the Beyond Self ritual, or I will, if there's so much resistance that I don't like want to do it, and I can see the mind going into like, oh, I'm a bad person because I'm not doing it, and I'm gonna stay in my old reality. I just watch that. I am not that thought. I am simply aware of the thought. That thought comes and then it'll go. And then that's it. So, I would say definitely just do that. Write down a goal that you want for the end of the week, and then write down 3 habits that's going to help you get closer to that goal. And then every day, just like check those. And then when you're meeting the resistance, do the work and then do the goal. Right? Okay. So, bye guys. Have a great morning. If it's morning where you are, I'm going to have a great night. And I will be looking forward to Melly Mail and abundance comments under this video tomorrow, letting me know.